Hello to all you magnificent twin flames who are tuning into this message. This is the Crow's Nest. I am your host, Crystaljoy, Wounded Healer. And what I have for you is a retrograde insights reading for the Twin Flame Collective. I know it's something I've been promising you guys for a little while now, and we're a little ways into the Mercury retrograde, but we also have two other retrogrades that have been active for a little bit now. So I thought that I would keep my promise and check in with you guys with an energy check-in for the twins, both the masculines, the feminines, as well as what's going on, the connective energies between the twins. And then we're going to dive into the retrograde a little bit in terms of, how each of the retrogrades is affecting us, what it is that we need to be aware of, and what's the best advice for getting through. And before we dive too deep into the cards, I wanted to give you guys a little bit of information and some knowledge about what the retrogrades all represent and how they're affecting us, because I know for a lot of us, like myself as well, we're just learning. Okay, so we're not really sure. We hear about retrograde, and a lot of people have been really fearing this Mercury retrograde. It's definitely been impacting me, and so sometimes we're not really sure what it is that we need to be aware of or fearing of or concentrating on with each of these retrogrades. So I thought I would give you guys a little bit of just a quick overview of the retrogrades, and what are some key points that I thought were important for us to know. Okay, so let's get right into it, twin flames. So with the Saturn retrograde, okay, this is a retrograde that went active on May 23rd. It's going to be with us until October 10th. Okay, just looking at my notes here. And so this is happening in the star sign of Aquarius. So it's my understanding that when we have something happening in a particular star sign, it's going to most affect people with that star sign or their sun, moon, rising sort of thing. Okay, so if you are an Aquarius, you might notice the effects of the Saturn retrograde impacting you a little bit more than people who may be not having the same star sign, sun, moon, or rising as you. Okay, so yes, the Saturn retrograde is happening in the Aquarius sign. So what this talks about is having a time for inner work that can set us up for success in our future. So, I thought that was incredibly fitting because we just see so much coming up in the cards lately about, Four of Swords, rest, retreat, renew, some hermit energy, just really taking some time for introspection, meditation, once again, if I didn't say it already, recuperation. Okay, just really taking some time for ourselves to recover and to prepare for, the abundance that I've been seeing coming through in my readings that is in store for us. But I know that we're all kind of on the edge of our seat wondering when all this good stuff that we keep hearing is coming is going to arrive. And I think that these retrogrades are going to really help provide a lot of insight in regards to why there seems to be this delay, if you will, in everything that we keep hearing in our tarot readings that's going to be coming in for us. So with this retrograde, Saturn retrograde, talking about a time for inner clarity to set us up for our success. And it also is a time that encourages review of foundations, of structures, of traditions, and of personal rules and restrictions. So going back to, again, what I've been seeing a lot in my readings, talking about these self-limiting beliefs, these sort of rules that we've set upon ourselves, right? Releasing of fear, things like that. So just really, once again, and setting up, I've been seeing a lot of things that are representing, stability and structure, foundations. We've been seeing a lot of fours coming through in the readings. I've been seeing, empresses, high priestesses. I've been having visions of emperors, with their staff firmly in the ground to signify that that stability, that structure, that kind of, marking the place, right? Just marking kind of like once again, I'm seeing when we landed on the moon and planting that flag. Okay, so kind of marking that foundation, that milestone, and I'm hearing territory. Okay, so moving into Pluto retrograde. Okay, so Pluto went into retrograde on April 27th, and that also is going to be until October, so the 6th. So the Saturn and the Pluto retrograde are going to be ending relatively close together. And so Pluto retrograde is happening in the sign of Capricorn, and this is talking about aiding in the release of repressed fears regarding success. So, looking back on the Saturn retrograde, talking about how this is time for inner work to set ourselves up for success. Pluto retrograde is also helping us to release fears in regards to success. So, really a great time going back to Saturn retrograde, talking about time to review things like our personal rules and restrictions, traditions, structures, foundations. I'm hearing values as well. So, excuse me. So going back to, the Pluto retrograde, it really is working well hand in hand with that Saturn retrograde to help us to prepare for the abundance that, we keep hearing is coming, but we're all just kind of like waiting and hoping and wishing and wondering. And, it's this edge of the seat kind of feeling, this cliffhanger, that we've all been feeling has been happening for quite a long moment. Okay. And I don't know why, you guys, I keep feeling like there's something on my face. It's making me really itchy. And I think that there is meanings behind when we get, I know in my readings, I do a lot of itches and a lot of twitching. So I think that there is messages in behind, when we have like our nose itches, I think that's messages from spirit. And I am hearing a lot of things right now as I'm giving you this information. So forgive me if I keep kind of playing with my nose. It just feels really itchy for no reason at all. Okay. It's like someone's tickling my nose. Okay, so with Pluto retrograde, I was kind of digging in deep with this Pluto retrograde, and what I was finding is the best advice, it was talking about not holding back, okay? Not letting anything holding us back in this time. And I think that is in regards to that inner work, okay? That releasing of the fear in regards to success. And divine feminines, I'm hearing right now as well, and my nose is getting super itchy as I'm hearing this. The monetary issues. I know so many divine feminines have been working through those limiting beliefs in regards to monetary issues, money, their pentacles, their foundations, their safety, security, that sort of stuff, okay? And so I think now really is a good time. Like the solar eclipse was really allowing us to do, is just leaning into this Saturn and this Pluto retrograde, okay? Because they're going to help to set us up, divine masculines as well, but divine feminines in regards to this money, okay? So that was really coming up strongly for the divine feminines. But I think for everyone in this time is just not holding back in regards to releasing the fear in regards to money, not, releasing the fear in regards to success. So divine masculines, that success might even be, releasing the fear in regards to the success of what will happen when you make contact with your divine feminine if you're not in communication, or you might be thinking about moving forward with the connection, and there might just be some fear in regards to the success of that outcome. So releasing those fears as well for you, divine masculine. So we all have something, excuse me, major throat chakra activation there. I thought I was going to start choking. Oh my goodness. So yes, we have a lot of fear to be releasing at this time in regards to our success. Take it how it resonates for you. We're all working on something different, and we're all focusing on something right now, a goal that we all have, okay? So moving into Mercury retrograde, I did save best for last, okay? And there was a reason I put them in this order. Excuse me. So Mercury also went into retrograde in May on the 29th, and it's going to be in retrograde until the 22nd, okay? So some relief there knowing that Mercury retrograde is going to dissipate for us. Now, also upon digging into the Mercury retrograde, I was learning that now what happens is the shadow energy with retrograde stays with us for some time. So what I was hearing was the 7th, July 7th, is a really great time for when that shadow energy is going to really have lifted away from us. Now, I will be doing something for the Twin Flames on that day, because that also happens to be July 7th, right? 7/7. So we have a very significant portal date. 7 in numerology speaks to spirituality, and with retrograde shadow energy leaving us, once we see what retrograde is talking about, Mercury retrograde, I think you twins will understand why Mercury retrograde, why the 7/7 portal is going to be so significant, not only for this Mercury retrograde shadow energy leaving us, but for what is going to be happening. Okay, so let's get into it. So Mercury retrograde is in the sign of Gemini, okay, and this is the sign of the twins, so very significant. And you also might be a star sign Gemini, or in your sun, moon, or rising, okay? Now, the Mercury retrograde creates some confusion. It creates delays and frustrations regarding things related to communication and transmissions, because things regarding, yes, transmissions are being thrown off balance. So even in my guidance message that I did earlier today, I was actually feeling just a little out of touch, just the energies, not out of touch from my intuition, but my communication. I was stuttering a lot. I was stumbling. I was feeling that forgetfulness that I'm going to talk about a little bit with Mercury retrograde. So so that sort of stuff is this confusion, delays, the frustration regarding communication. And the retrograde, Mercury retrograde, also does impact technology a little bit. So you might be struggling a little bit with your devices, with your social media platforms, things like that, okay? I'm hearing too with your vehicle, some of you might be having car trouble, okay? So, you know, watch out for the shadow energy of retrograde to leave. Hopefully your car troubles will leave you. There's nothing like feeling grounded. Okay, so going back here, the Mercury retrograde, it also creates halts and that feeling of being stuck. So again, if you're having car trouble, absolutely feeling stuck. And it also does impact our memory. So you might be feeling a little bit forgetful, okay? Like I was having some of those moments earlier. And the best advice for the Mercury retrograde was just remaining in the heart space. So, you know, going back to the order that I put these in, the reason that I thought it was significant to end with Mercury retrograde is because, you know, Saturn retrograde is telling us this is a time for inner reflection on our success, how we want to obtain that success. And then the Pluto retrograde is giving us time to reflect on how it is that we want to release the fears in regards to obtaining that success, okay? Now, Mercury retrograde is here to create a little bit of, it's like sticking a stick in someone's bike spokes as they're trying to, you know, go along life, right? It really does kind of create some havoc for us. And so that's why I wanted to end on that note, is I think it's really significant to take that into consideration, because I know we're all so eager to find out, when is all the abundance that we're hearing about coming in? When is this communication from my counterpart that I'm hearing about coming in? You know, when is movement, forward action, all of this happening? And so I think, you know, looking into these retrogrades, it does help us to understand, you know, where things are at in those regards, okay? And so with Mercury retrograde here, twins, I think it's important for us all to be taking this time to do that inner work, to focus on our success, to focus on our stability, our structures, our foundations, and releasing the fear on how we're going to obtain whatever the success is for us, okay? And then, you know, once Mercury retrograde has left us, I think that's going to be the time for us to really take action, and when we're going to start to see all of these things that we're all just kind of on the edge of our seat waiting for. Okay, so you know, with that said, I want to get into the cards now, okay? So I felt like I wanted to say something else. But I hope that does give you guys a little bit of an understanding about, you know, the energies that are at play right now. So, you know, don't put pressure on things if they're not happening right away, and do take time before making decisions, okay? Because this Mercury retrograde really is, you know, like I said, creating some havoc. And so with this Saturn retrograde and the Pluto retrograde here to help us to focus on success and releasing fear so that we can move forward to that, you know, and all of this Four of Swords energy that's been coming through in the readings, taking time to just rest and retreat while that time is here, okay? So we're going to get into the cards now. Once again, I hope that provided some clarity to understand the energies and why we shouldn't be pushing things, rushing things, and just taking some time for ourselves. So what I want to do for you twins is we're going to do an energy check-in, okay? So I'm going to start with the collective, so the connecting energies between the twins, what everyone is feeling at this time, and then we'll check in with the masculines and feminines individually, okay? And I am just going to grab a sip of my coffee here. And I feel like this might be a little bit of a longer reading today, you guys. So if you need to pause and grab something to drink, what I have on the tarot for the connecting energies for the twins today, I was guided to use the Hope Stone. So this stone does have a as like a personal connection to my twin flame journey. It's been with me since I met my divine counterpart. Was that many years ago, you guys? I don't even know the date, so I'll just let you have a look at the stone. So I believe this is a brown jasper. It's got gold, the word hope engraved in gold on it. So yes, let's get started here. So oh my, that didn't take long. So I just want to know, what is the energies in the Twin Flame Collective at this time? And I know sometimes, you guys, my cards come out rather quickly, and those were quite deliberate in how they turned over. And so just know that when that does happen, I do shuffle my cards quite significantly off camera before and after every reading, okay? So I hope that you guys have comfort knowing that the cards really are well shuffled between readings, okay? Let's just have a look here at what we do have. The Two of Wands did come through in the reading earlier today, the earlier guidance reading. I'll link that for you guys so you can have a look at that. So the Eight of Wands is here in reverse, talking about what? Delays, frustration, resisting change, and internal alignment, okay? Now the Two of Wands, it was in reverse earlier, once again, talking about personal goals, alignment, fear of the unknown, lack of planning. I really hope you saw those cards turn over as I was shuffling, because honestly, like, this is just so accurate to everything I was just saying about these retrogrades, okay? So Mercury retrograde is definitely causing these delays, these frustrations. And twins, we're feeling it. I know we're all feeling it. Masculines, I know that you have things that you want to work towards, and there are things getting in your way. There is a lot of things that still need to be worked on, to be healed, to be, you know, cleansed, just closed, I'm hearing, closed, like put to an end. So, you know, and then divine feminines, you know, we keep hearing about things are coming, and, you know, we've been hearing it for so long that it is this sense of, you know, feeling a little impatient. So feeling like there are things that are causing some delays and that creates some frustration, right? And I'm hearing as well, divine feminines, it's also questioning, like creating some doubt within yourself. We might see that coming through for you, but, you know, just know yourself, know who you are, know what this journey is, okay? Stand in that, because now is not the time to let fear get the better of you. Now is the time to be releasing that fear, okay? So yes, and then this resisting the change. So, you know, using this time to use these retrogrades, because they are here for a benefit. You know, Mercury retrograde, I know it seems like a bit of a pain, but, you know, these things happen for a reason. You know, right now with Mercury retrograde being here, it's significant because it's allowing us to really tap into the Saturn and the Pluto retrograde, okay? So, you know, don't resist this time to change, to evolve, right? So that we can prepare ourselves for the change that's coming in. And then this internal alignment. So taking this time, these retrogrades, the Saturn retrogrades specifically, helping us to take time to really look within, right? And to find out, you know, what is the meaning of success for us? What does success look like for us? What do I need to feel abundant in success? And then going back to, as well, reviewing our foundations, our structures, traditions, our personal rules, and our restrictions, right? So yeah, and then going back to this Four of Swords card has been coming through in so many of my readings lately, and I'm so drawn to meditation with this card. And I think that going back to this internal alignment, you know, it's taking this time to meditate, to checking in with yourself, connecting with nature. And as I was getting set up for this reading, I was actually, I don't know if it was in the music but I was just really hearing water and feeling really connected to the cleansing powers of water, and that feminine energy. And it's also, you know, hopefully the last of our quite long rainy period here where I'm at. And so a lot of rain happening today, and they're quite heavy downfalls. And so, you know, cleansing energy, purifying, there we go, there is that water in the music, okay? So getting in that alignment. And so, you know, if it's connecting with nature, you know, being near water, like running water, you want to hear like the ocean waves or the sound of a river flowing, okay, or a stream. is what I'm hearing. And then with this Two of Wands in reverse, talking about personal goals and inner alignment once again. So when we have two cards with the energy at this time talking about inner alignment for you twins, and for us twins, I don't know why I separate us. And so these personal goals, going back to, you know, Saturn retrograde, helping us to focus on success, our goals in success, okay? And, you know, inner alignment, it's a very strong vibe. I don't think I need to dive too deep more into that. I feel like it's just going to keep coming up in this reading, okay? So just keep that, you know, write it down. That's a big focus for this time, okay, is inner alignment. And, you know, fear of the unknown. So talking about Saturn retrograde helping us to be prepared for the success, but the Pluto retrograde helping us to release repressed fears regarding success, okay? So this fear of the unknown, release that fear, you know, releasing the fears in regards to success, because also twins, I'm hearing that for a lot of us, success is unknown. You know, it's a difficult journey that we have chosen to be on. Oh my goodness, I don't know what your journey's been like, but I know mine. You know, so it's been tough. It's been really tough, twins. I feel you. So success, it's almost like for a lot of us, we don't really, it's something that we still feel like we're coming into. It's something that we feel we haven't had a chance to experience much yet in life, because this is the journey that we've chosen. It's a healing journey. And so there's been a lot of things that have been making us feel like we haven't been very successful to help us to heal and to grow and to learn and to awaken and to evolve on this journey so that we can be successful and to teach others how to do it for themselves, I'm hearing. And then lack of planning, that came up earlier. And what I'm really feeling from that still is, you know, with this retrograde, I was talking about in the guidance reading from this morning about this lack of planning. So when we don't take time to properly plan things, then we don't see the success that we really want to see, is I think what I was getting at for the gist of the sum of what I said earlier. And so going back to Saturn retrograde, talking about helping us set us up for success, okay? So I think that's really important why Mercury retrograde is here in Gemini in the sign of the twins right now, because I think twins, it's really, I think this is the divine guidance of, you know, kind of forcing us to pause for a minute before things really get going, because we really need to not have this lack of planning. We really need to plan, be prepared for what's to come, okay? And this, again, Mercury retrograde, I feel like it's here to make sure that we're all doing that, because I feel like if Mercury retrograde wasn't here, I know myself, I'm a power horse. The last 2 days I've actually had to spend a lot of time resting, but I am guilty for being one of those humans who just wants to always keep going. I feel like there's always so much that I want to be doing, and you know, it's usually for other people, so remembering to take time for ourselves as well. But yes, this lack of planning, I'm feeling like now is the time for us to not move with, you know, hastily is what I'm hearing, and really taking time to plan things thoroughly. Okay, so let's dive in. We're going to start with the divine feminines for the energy check-in, okay? I'm going to adjust. My foot's falling asleep here, you guys. Okay. And the stone I'm using for the divine feminines today is the citrine. And I wanted to, I don't know if you can see it too well. I know it's not very large, but it's making me think about the solar plexus chakra once again. I'm learning all this stuff just like you guys too, okay? So you might want to look up what the solar plexus really is speaking about, so that it, you know, there might be a message there for you. And then again, talking about this alignment. Both of these cards are talking about inner alignment, and I'm feeling solar plexus chakra with this stone, okay? So let's find out, divine feminines, what is the current energy at this time for the divine feminine collective? You know what's really interesting too? I don't really separate them. You know, my tarot cards are tarot cards to me. But this deck that I'm using for the feminines today is actually the deck that I tend to use for the masculines. And I recognize it because there are a couple of cards that are a slightly different color than the rest of the deck. And it just makes me think about how in the last couple of readings for the twin flames, I was talking about divine feminines really starting to embody their masculine energy as much as their feminine energy. So I'm being told to look at the bottom of the deck. So we have the Eight of Pentacles, divine feminines, talking about apprenticeship, repetitive tasks, mastery, and skill development. Once again, really talking about these retrogrades, okay, setting ourselves up for success. And I really do feel like so many divine feminines really are working right now, embodying that masculine energy, setting ourselves up for that safety, stability, security, our foundations. You know, in this earthly realm, you know, it's so drilled into masculines, men, boys, that they have to be providers, that they have to, you know, be the breadwinners, bring home the money so that they can take care of the family. And so it, you know, seeing this Eight of Pentacles for the divine feminines is making me feel how, you know, divine feminines, now we're starting to, like I said, embody that masculine energy and understand that, you know, it's not about, you know, what role belongs to who, right? We all are we all embody masculine and feminine energies. Even if you are not a twin flame and you're here and you're watching this and this resonates with you, it's because we all have these polarities, we all have these energies within us, okay? So divine feminines, bottom of the deck, we have Eight of Pentacles. So really focusing on, you know, your skill, your development. I'm hearing also in regards to your spiritual development, your intuition, but I'm also feeling like really working on your career path, your apprenticeship, okay? So this card on the top is really getting my attention too. We have the Wheel of Fortune. So it's in reverse, talking about bad luck, resistance to change, and breaking cycles. So I feel like that's the energy right now, breaking cycles in regards to moving forward with this Eight of Pentacles, right? Because divine feminines have been feeling that. We've been feeling like we have not been able to, we've been feeling that we've had to take care of ourselves for so long, okay? This sense of security and protection, self-protection, but I feel like we're putting that to an end now. Okay, so let's put that right back where it was. I'm not going to take that, but let's see what we have coming through here. Okay, so we have the Two of Wands once again. So guys, that's 3 times today in my readings that I've had this Two of Wands come out. So definitely a message there, okay? So for you divine feminines, it's talking about future planning, progress, decisions, and discovery. So using this time to really tap into all of this future planning, how we're going to progress with our success, right? And making decisions and the discovery. So I was feeling like with this Eight of Pentacles, a sense of spirituality, so that spiritual development. So this discovery, I won't be surprised if you get the angel number that's giving you the guidance to research your spiritual needs, okay? So divine feminine, so that's a little bit of the energy that you're in right now, is this, future planning in regards to your success and the decisions that you want to make and your spiritual discoveries. I'm hearing that what you're working on right now, your career path, has a lot to do with your spirituality. And what else was I going to say? Yes, it kind of left me, but going back to Mercury retrograde, right? So, but this future planning of really setting yourselves up for that apprenticeship, like that Eight of Pentacles was saying, and like this Saturn retrograde is really, really here to help us focus on, right? So some of the energy that you're in, along with this Two of Pentacles. So once again, divine feminine's really focused on your pentacles, right? The Two of Pentacles talks about multiple priorities, time management, prioritization, and adaptability. So this is a card I've been seeing for the divine feminine collective quite a bit. So I'm just thinking about that Eight of Pentacles as well. So yes, divine feminines, it's a repeat message for the divine feminines about not just time management, but being able to choose what the priorities are and manage your time through a priority sequence is what I really feel. And you're really being adaptable in this time. it's like divine feminines, you're learning how to kind of release the cycles, like that wheel of fortune of control. Um, because this adaptability, it's kind of like when you make a plan and you move forward with it and then it doesn't go the way you want and then you think it was a failure. You think, okay, well, I gotta start a new plan because that didn't work and now I gotta try something else. But it's like you're able to see now to be adaptable. So rather than just kind of like throw in the towel and start something new, you're able to look at it and say, well, how can I adjust? How can I adapt to the situation so that I don't have to give in so easily? So once again, really embodying that masculine energy of just having that willpower, really standing in your power and your authority, and knowing what you want. And I'm seeing the Queen of Swords right now. Just no one's getting in her way at all. So that's the energy that I'm feeling for you at this time, Divine Feminines. I feel like I paused for a second because I feel like I'm not recalling if these cards, what the position was that they came out in, so that might be some of the forgetfulness of the retrograde, but also how I'm reading the cards. Give me one second. Yeah, no, forgive me. Regardless of how they came out, I really am feeling them both upright, okay? So going back, Divine Feminines, Two of Wands upright is future planning, progress, decisions, and discovery. But in reverse, it also does talk about personal goals, inner alignment, fear of the unknown, and lack of planning. So that might resonate for some of you. We did just cover that too, so that might be why it's so fresh in my mind. And then the Two of Pentacles upright, multiple priorities, time management, prioritization, and adaptability. So that's the energy for Divine Feminines at this time. So masculines, let's check in with you, okay? How is the energy for you at this time? And the stone I was guided to use for the masculines today is the rose quartz point, okay? So, the stone that's connected to love, relationships. I'm hearing communication as well. I wasn't aware of that, so that's just what I'm hearing right now. All right, so let's find out for the Divine Masculines. What is the current energy for the Divine Masculines at this time? Okay. So what do we need to know about how the Divine Masculines are currently feeling? There we go. I wouldn't be surprised if that's a sword card. It just, the way it really flew out there. Oh goodness, it's the Judgment card and it's upright. So Divine Masculines, the energy you're in right now is this judgment, rebirth, inner calling, and absolution. So really stepping into knowing who you are, really stepping into knowing your truth. Really, and this rebirth too, I'm really feeling for the Divine Masculines. There has been a sense of death energy, okay, happening for you, some tower moments. So this rebirth, it's like, and this cleansing, this water rain energy that I was kind of picking up on, it's like you're going through a rebirth, you're being like kind of washed, cleansed, like purified of everything that you've been going through. And this judgment is kind of like, the Divine Feminines had this recently, and I was saying that it was like Divine Feminines had their Judgment Day, and I'm really feeling that for you now, Divine Masculines. So really, really moving along nicely in this journey through, we had a really heavy time with the solar eclipse. So amazing, Masculines. This inner calling and absolution. So it's like Masculines going back to the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands, I believe, does talk about decisions. Yes. It's in reverse here for the mutual energies between the twins, but I am feeling it's like this absolution. You have a sense of absolution, like you're sure of yourself and the decisions that you've been making, and the decisions that you are going to make, the things that you're going to be moving forward. It's like you feel this inner calling, and you know that the decisions that you're making and that you're going to make really are, without a doubt. So I'm really feeling that that's the success for you. So I'm really feeling really strong energy from this Judgment card today, okay? Divine Masculines, I don't think I need to dive into that too much more. It's just a really strong energy of you just really feeling as though, yeah, just this sense of being reborn, this sense of awakening, this inner calling, really just really awakening is what I'm feeling. Just being revived as well. I'm feeling like energy for you, like energy that can make you feel like you have energy to get through your day. That's really wonderful. I'm really loving that. I do want to quickly jump on some angel number guidance for this, just to get some more clarity on this Judgment for the masculines. And the stone that I'm using today on the angel number deck by myself today, you guys, is one of my amethyst stones. Okay, so it's kind of like a point. I love this stone because it just has so many different colors and things happening inside of it. All right, so let's find out. I want to get a little angel number guidance for the masculines on this Judgment card. If there's anything else that masculines need to be aware of. Okay. So we have angel number 688 coming through. So divine timing are at play to improve personal, family, and professional life, right? So this Judgment, this rebirth. So it maybe even in regards to karmic cycles, ending of karmic cycles, divine masculines. And we also have angel number 555 here. So talking about huge change being ahead, right? And I feel like you already know that. It's just kind of like I'm really feeling like you are prepared. You are just kind of waiting for the moment being right to implement change. Trust in the process and the transition. So this like cleansing, this rebirthing that you're kind of going through, the solar eclipse, the reason they call it the ring of fire is connected to, when a woman is giving birth to a child, when the baby is crowning, it's referred to as the ring of fire. So interesting that we've just passed through this ring of fire solar eclipse, and the masculines are going through this rebirthing energy. So trust in that process, masculines. And I feel like you are starting to trust in it more. I'm really feeling that from this Judgment card. And then your current circumstances are in place for your highest good. So, trusting in the transition, in the process, knowing that the rebirth that you're going through, any negativity that might be going on for you, it's all here to help you to grow, okay? Really, so that we can move forward through this Eight of Swords, these delays, these frustrations. And the connecting energies having talk about the delays and the frustrations, and you having so much talk about change here with angel number 555. So that's fantastic. I'm also being drawn to the eights on angel number 688. So you might be seeing a lot of eights, divine masculines. And number 8 in numerology speaks about manifestation. So you might be manifesting, but I'm also hearing that some of you are trying to manifest your divine feminine. So let's move on through the reading, you guys, okay? The next thing I wanted to check in, okay, is what time are we at? It's already at 40 minutes. Oh my goodness. Okay, so what we'll do here, we'll check in with the connecting energies, okay, on how is the Saturn retrograde currently influencing us at this time, okay? Oh gosh. Okay, so we have the Four of Cups, the Ten of Cups, both in reverse, the Hierophant upright, the Ten of Swords upright, and the Queen of Swords. I was definitely feeling that. So the Four of Cups in reverse talks about withdrawal, checking in for alignment, okay? So going back to the messages in the Eight of Wands and the Two of Wands, right? This 3 cards now speaking about alignment. Divine feminines, you also have the Two of Wands, okay? And masculines, with this Judgment card here, getting into alignment for yourself is going to really help you through this transition, right? So, yes, this Four of Cups, okay, so how is the Saturn retrograde influencing us at this time? It's helping us to retreat and withdraw and to check in for alignment so that we can focus on, going back to Saturn retrograde 1 second, talking about helping us to do the inner work to focus on our successes, right? The Ten of Cups is also in reverse. I know that card resonates with the Twin Flame Collective, okay? It's talking about disconnection, misalignment with values, and struggling relationships in the reverse position. So that's the Saturn retrograde. You know, again, I was feeling that for the masculines, the success being the connection in the twin flame journey. So the Saturn retrograde is really helping us, again, focusing on that inner alignment so that we can no longer be struggling with these relationships and our values can start to align. Because, you know, twin flames, once we start to align, what happens is we find internal alignment, we find oneness, right? And that's when union happens. So you know, so a really strong message about, you know, that getting connected, interconnection, alignment, okay? The Hierophant is also here. So spiritual wisdom, religious beliefs, conformity, traditions, and institutions. That's everything that the Saturn retrograde talks about. It talks about review of foundations, structures, traditions, personal rules, and restrictions, okay? So the Saturn retrograde really is here to help us to focus on these things and this spiritual wisdom, right? Because this is a very spiritual journey that, I mean, we're all spiritual beings having a human experience, but twin flames, we know that, you know, we've kind of chosen level extra, right? Like it's beyond level difficult. Yes, so that's what I'm feeling with this Hierophant here. We also have the Ten of Swords upright. Not a fun card. This talks about painful endings, deep wounds, betrayal, loss, and crisis. The Ten of Swords, I was going to say twin flames. The Ten of Swords is one of the most painful energies in the entire deck. It's that feeling of utter defeat. You are on the brink. You just can't go on. It's just like, take me now kind of energy. So I feel like this is something we've experienced a lot in the past, like I was saying about not feeling like we've had much chances to experience success, because this journey has been, for the most part up until this point, for so many of us, you know, that healing, that growing, that evolving to set us up for our Ten of Cups in the upright, that abundance, right? So going back to this Ten of Swords, so many of us have been experiencing this energy or have experienced it for so long. But I feel like this is what, you know, the Saturn retrograde is here to help us to focus on, and the Pluto retrograde as well, but Saturn is what we're focusing on at the moment. Just really releasing those personal rules and restrictions, because I was also seeing with the Ten of Swords in another reading about these rules and restrictions causing us a lot of pain, okay? This self-deceit, self-betrayal. Okay, so moving on, we also have the Queen of Swords in reverse. So overly emotional, easily influenced, bitchy, and cold-hearted. So I feel like a lot of us, we've had to, you know, we've felt that way in this journey, going through what we've gone through. You know, this Ten of Swords really does put us in this energy of having to kind of protect ourselves, okay? Getting closed offish, standoffish, confrontational. What's the other word I'm looking for? Defensive, okay, is the other word I'm looking for. So but the Saturn retrograde is helping us once again to focus on this inner work, to release this Ten of Swords and this Queen of Swords in reverse. They're not fun, but that's being released, okay? The Hierophant is here to make sure that we're taking this time to really focus on all of these things, okay? And it might feel like a painful ending, Divine Masculines, going through this rebirthing, okay? It can be quite painful. And, you know, we've all gone through this solar eclipse recently, which was all about us releasing, doing that deep inner healing. So Saturn retrograde here as well to help us do more inner healing. So it can be painful stuff, okay, twins? So let's move on now to, let me make some space. Okay. So that was Saturn retrograde. So let's find out now what is being influenced with the Pluto retrograde. So anything that we need to know at this time of what the Pluto retrograde is influencing for the Twin Flame Collective. Wow. I love when they shoot out like that. Okay, so we have the Ten of Swords landing very clearly upright, and we also have the Six of Cups, and I was feeling it. I was feeling it in reverse. I try not to look at the card before I turn it over. But the Six of Cups, okay, so in the reverse, it's talking about living in the past, forgiveness, and lacking playfulness. So going back to the Pluto retrograde, aiding in the release of repressed fears regarding success. So this lacking playfulness, okay, being so focused on work before play, and so we're lacking playfulness when we're so focused on work, so focused on our success, okay. And like going back to feeling held back, I was saying something about that. And so regarding success, this lacking playfulness, I'm feeling like we were really held back in that regard. And this living in the past, yeah, and I feel like that's coming up right now, because the retrograde, Pluto retrograde, is here to help us to release things, right? To release, what was it saying? Release repressed fears regarding success. And so we're living in the past, we're revisiting the past right now because we need to release those things in the past, okay? And for some of us, we may be spending too much time in the past. I know myself, I did that. I used to, that was one of my negative self-talks, is I would just replay all of the negative things from the past. I mean, I would dig back to childhood. I don't even know why. Like, here I am, 30 something years old, and I'm letting something from like grade 1 bother me. Just so some of you might be experiencing that. So this Pluto retrograde really is here to help you to release those repressed feelings of fear in regards to success. And if the things that you're replaying through your mind, they might have in regards to do with success. One of the things for me was, that always played in my mind, is people always telling me that I was always going to be a failure. So of course that impacted my ability to move forward with success. So the Six of Cups in reverse, talking about forgiveness, also finding forgiveness in yourself, in everyone involved, okay? And so if whatever it is that you're, just forgiving the people who said these things, that kind of put these rules and restrictions upon yourself, right? Yeah, and then, so that was reversed. I don't want to get that confused. And then the Five of Cups next, or Swords, sorry, next to that, talking about conflict, disagreements, competition, defeat, and winning at all costs. So give me 1 second here, because I want to know the connection with this Pluto retrograde. Yes. So, this conflict, disagreements, competition. So, um, like I was saying, if something someone was saying to you all the time was like telling you you're always going to be a failure, always telling you you're going to be a loser, things like that, it creates that limiting belief for us, right? So Pluto retrograde is really helping us to release those repressed fears regarding success. So, it's like all of that could have created conflict for us. Um, in the past as well, I'm hearing there could have been a lot of, yeah, for the Twin Flame Collective, absolutely, a lot of conflict. This journey there's been conflicts, right? We know that. And disagreements, competition. Um, I feel like that's a lot of what we're revisiting in the past. So like I was saying, for some of us, focusing too much on the things that happened in the past, it could have been result in regards to so much conflicts and disagreements and these defeat. But going back to the Pluto retrograde, I was saying the best advice was not letting anything holding you back, right? And that's interesting that we have the Five of Swords, which also does talk about winning at all costs, right? So I feel like Pluto retrograde, what these two cards are telling us right now is that Pluto retrograde, what is influencing us right now, is to feel like we are winning at all costs in regards to letting go of all of those things that were holding us back, this work before play, and not having this lack of playfulness, right? This Pluto retrograde really helping us to release this conflict. um And my music all of a sudden just stopped as well, so that might mean something too. Hopefully something nice comes on after. I'm just gonna let it go and see what happens. But again, I'm just really trying to understand the message here. Maybe we'll get the angel number guidance on this to see again, how the Pluto retrograde is influencing us, but I'm feeling this sense of finding, yes, okay, releasing the fears regarding success. So going back into the past, finding forgiveness in the situations that have created the fear, okay, and releasing this work before play mentality, okay. There has to be a balance, right? Going in for alignment, for that balance, because if you're always putting work before play, I mean, we're grown-ups now, so you might not ever be having time to be playful, okay. Yeah, so I will grab an angel number guidance for that real quick. So what is the best guidance for how Pluto retrograde is affecting us at this time? So we have angel number 303. So your overflow of self-love positively impacts those around you. So yes, Pluto retrograde, not letting anything holding you back. Mercury retrograde, speaking about, remaining in the heart space. Okay, so a message, a guidance for us right now of, yes, and talking about this Five of Swords upright, it is a heavy energy, talking about conflict and disagreements and competition, competitive. Sometimes, there's healthy competition, but there's also unhealthy competition, okay. So just focusing on this self-love and knowing that others around you are feeling that. And I'm hearing twin flames, so we're on a twin flame journey. We know that tapping into this self-love, the sense of oneness, really does bring in union within ourselves and union within the 3D, right? And then it also does talk about travel, adventure, spontaneity. So once again, this lack of playfulness, so some guidance to be a little spontaneous, be a little adventurous, okay. Tap in with that inner child. And I'm hearing that, a lot of the wounds that some of you are working on, that this Pluto retrograde is influencing, comes back from childhood. And then this card is also talking about it being time to live your biggest dreams, okay, twins? So Pluto retrograde really is here helping us with this, so that once all these energies are aligned just right, we can live our biggest dreams. We have 3 cards here as well, so I love that with 303 here. So 3 cards, 333. I love that energy. We have angel number 44 here, so talking about divine power and protection. Number 4 is also about structure, stability, foundations, okay. And know that your angels are here providing you with an energetic level of support from the universe that's at an I don't know why I wrote this word that way, but we're being given just the most ultimate, the abundance of energy, okay? So getting through the Pluto retrograde, we're being given so much energy right now to help us to get through this time, but then also going back to this lacking playfulness and that feeling of needing to connect with the inner child. So giving us the energy, and the encouragement to do so, to connect with that inner child, okay? And to heal those wounds with the inner child. And angel number 6 is here. That's very fitting. Talking about finances and materialism, time to find balance and harmony, right? So going back to that message of alignment coming strong through in this reading, we have 3 angel numbers here, okay? So yes, that time for harmony and balance. And your angels are encouraging you to research your spiritual path and needs. I said this card was going to come out for you, Divine Feminines. Here we have it, okay? So twins, that's for both of you, okay? So that is going to help you to get through what the Pluto retrograde is here to help you with at this time, okay? So now we will look into Mercury retrograde. I know we're loving this one, right? Honestly, you guys, I've been blaming so much on Mercury retrograde, and I feel it's fitting, because like everything about communication and my technology has just not been having fun. And you saw how those cards came out. They weren't clear on how they wanted to come out. So Mercury retrograde, what is influencing us? What is being influenced at this time with Mercury retrograde? So interesting. So just to recap on Mercury retrograde being about confusions, delays, frustration, communication, technology. So with Mercury retrograde, what's influenced at this time is the 5 of Pentacles upright, talking about financial loss, poverty, lack mindset, isolation, and worry, okay? I want to keep going here because I feel like these cards, there's 3 of them here. There's something happening. We have the Page of Wands in reverse, talking about newly formed ideas, redirected energy, this energy that we're being given with angel number 44, right? Where am I here? Redirected energy, self-limiting beliefs, and a spiritual path. Yes. Keep going here. The Three of Wands upright with progress, expansion, foresight, overseas opportunity. That was in this morning's reading. So we had the 3 and the 2 of Wands in this morning's reading, and they're both here right now, okay? Strong message there. We also had the 2 of Wands 3 times in this reading. So 3, 3, 3. Really strong threes in this reading, you guys. Talk about twin flame alignment. You guys, alignment. I don't know how many times I need to say it. That's like the message today I feel like we need to hear, okay? 1 second here. So what I'm seeing here is I'm feeling this isolation with the Five of Pentacles. So speaking about Mercury retrograde, you know, creating a lot of delays, frustration, you know, interruptions in communications and technology. So I'm feeling like it creates this sense of isolation and worry, because we're worried about the connection. You know, we're kind of going into isolation because we're trying to reflect and understand. We're trying to get this like introspection. But there's this, with the Five of Pentacles, talking about financial loss and poverty and this lack mindset. So I feel like Mercury retrograde right now is influencing at this time. We are feeling a bit in this lack and this isolation and a bit of a worry, because it's like we want to move forward, but we can't, because the energies right now are set up so that we can't, because we are supposed to be doing what? Alignment, right? So with the Page of Wands next to it is talking about newly formed ideas. So we are forming new ideas in regards to our pentacles, in regards to our financial loss, in regards to our poverty and this lack mindset, the successes that the Pluto and Saturn retrograde are here to help us to be focusing on, right? I suddenly feel like I'm going to have the hiccups. So releasing fear, what the Pluto retrograde is helping us to release fear in regards to success, okay? Excuse me. So we have these newly formed ideas, and there's this redirected energy, okay? So the Mercury retrograde right now, so we're in this energy of feeling stuck, feeling isolated, feeling worry, feeling at a lack a little bit, okay? But we're getting, it's this time to focus on our new ideas, okay? And our energy is being redirected away from this lack mindset to focusing on you know, what all of this retrograde energy is here to help us with, which is this alignment that we're talking about, right? So and letting go of the self-limiting beliefs. So the Saturn retrograde here to help us to release beliefs in regards to you know, fear and success, right? And it being about a spiritual path. So we know we're twin flames. We all know we're spiritual beings having a human experience. But this spiritual path, with this Five of Pentacles here too, in the reverse, the Five of Pentacles does speak about spiritual poverty, and I was feeling that with the Page of Wands talking about a spiritual path. So it's like we're recovering as well. Mercury retrograde, the energy is being shifted right now to help us to recover from this feeling, this spiritual poverty. Is a strong message that I'm picking up there. And with the Three of Wands, okay, so we're ending talking about progress, expansion, foresight, and overseas opportunities. So we talked about that this morning, but in this message here, what I'm seeing is that, you know, Mercury retrograde is really helping us to shift away from this Five of Pentacles energy to help us to focus on our newly formed ideas so that we can move forward with progress and expansion. And I'm hearing that right now is a time for expansion. We really are expanding in this time, twin flames, okay? And it's helping us to gain a lot of foresight. And very strong message in the last couple days. Some of you are going to literally be doing some traveling and overseas opportunities. There's something that I'm feeling with that isn't even about, it's not about air travel, and it's not about 5D communication, but there is something there. So if it resonates for you, let me know. I'm just really not understanding what that energy is that I feel with this talk about overseas opportunities that just keeps coming up, okay? for a moment I was seeing the world, so it might even just be speaking about our connectedness. A lot of, yeah, with the Lionsgate portal coming up, it could be talking about that. Just this being connected. This because we all are connected, okay? And there's so many opportunities, so many galactic energies that are going to be coming to Earth to help us along our ascension as a global collective, okay? All right, so let's move into now. I also wanted to find out, so with everything, we've looked into the 3 different retrogrades that are active. So what other messages do we need to be aware of at this time, in this period of retrograde energy? So anything else that we need to be aware of as a collective? So we have the 2 of Swords and the Ace of Wands coming through. So talking about difficult decisions, weighing up options, being at an impasse and avoidance, and inspiration, new opportunities, growth, and potential. So very similar message here, okay? So there has been a lot of decisions that had to have been made for both twin flames, for the masculines and the feminines. And I'm really picking up that a lot of decisions have been made at this point, or they're being made at this time, weighing up options at an impasse, avoidance. It's like the avoidance is no longer there, is what I'm feeling. There is this sense of being at an impasse because we are feeling this sense of being halted, this inability to move forward, because the retrograde energies are creating this kind of block for us so that we can be focusing on this inner work and this alignment. For some, it's like there's an avoidance to even doing the work. But with this 2 of Swords, I'm really feeling it's this very strong energy of having made the decisions. It's like, you know, the tarot card, it's an individual and they've got their blindfold on and they're holding 2 swords across their chest, and it's kind of like that blindfold is coming off and you're now, I think the person is even kneeling on the card, and it's like you're standing up and you're very deliberately taking the swords and you're putting them down, like not putting them on the ground, but you're uncrossing them, and you're pointing them down towards the ground is what I see. So you like stand up and you uncross and the blades are pointing down. So just this very clear, it's like you stand up and it's like, I've cut through the bullcrap, I've made the decisions now, is what I feel with this 2 of Swords next to this Ace of Wands, with these inspirations, new ideas, opportunities, growth, and potential. That you've been able to do this because you have this, you see this Ace of Wands in front of you as well, right? You have, it's like now you've stepped into inspiration. You're being given inspiration to move forward with these new opportunities, to make these decisions, and to kind of cut through the crap, is what I'm hearing, to move forward with growth, and potential, which again really does speak a lot about these retrograde energies that we're experiencing, okay? So now let's find out the best advice. Okay, so we will be doing more retrograde updates. I'll probably be doing it, I don't want to, maybe weekly or something. I'm not too sure yet, okay, so don't hold me to that. But because Pluto and Saturn retrograde are with us until October, and Mercury retrograde is going to be with us for another week or so. So we'll keep checking in on these energies and seeing how they're influencing the twin flame journey. But let's find out what's the best advice at this time with the current energies that we see coming through in this reading. There we go. I love that. So we have the Magician in reverse. So the best advice, okay, so with the Magician in reverse talking about manipulation, poor planning, and untapped talents. So I feel like this is kind of like a warning, okay? So the best advice is to avoid this, okay? Heed this, like all warnings, okay? Because we're really talking about the strongest message coming through in this reading is all about alignment, right? So doing that inner work so that we can be focusing on releasing everything in our way of our success, right? So with this Magician card here in reverse talking about manipulation, okay, so it's like the best advice for you, don't allow yourself to be manipulated in this time, and don't manipulate yourself, kind of thing too, right? Don't don't question yourself, don't doubt yourself, don't doubt the journey, okay? Poor planning. So we already know what the retrogrades are all about. We've seen it coming through in this reading about how now is a time to be making the plans, not necessarily taking action right away, but really, really diving in deep into the plans, okay? This lack of planning, like I was saying, when we don't plan properly, the energies for the connection with this Two of Wands, when we don't make the proper plans, things don't go as successfully, right? So now really is a time. So the best advice right now is, not to be in this mode of poor planning. Now is the time to focus, okay? We saw it here. Did I get an angel number about us being guided through focus? Where I'm just really feeling that right now, okay? And untapped talents. So going back, we saw a message about this being a very spiritual journey. Angel number 6 coming through about, researching your spiritual path and your spiritual needs. So untapped talents, we really need to get into alignment so that we can really tap into our talents. Because twin flames, when we come into union, I know so many of us, that's a major, that's a goal that we have in this experience, in this life experience. So, when we come into union, and even when we come into union with ourselves, even if we're not in union with our divine counterpart in the 3D, in the physical, this journey, it's like when we get into this union with ourselves or with our counterpart, where am I going with this? Oh my gosh, it's like the words don't want to come out. There's just still so much work that needs to be done, right? Is the gist of what I'm getting to. And so we really do need to tap into our talents so that we can do our best work, put our best foot forward is what I'm hearing, okay? So this Magician card, the best advice that we're being given right now is to really not allow others to manipulate us. And I'm hearing protect your energy, so don't let other energies manipulate you, including retrograde, okay? And, really taking the time to be planning. Now is not the time for poor planning, okay? So best guidance, take time to plan and take time to align and to tap in with your talents. Research your spiritual path and your needs, okay? That's a card that really keeps coming through a lot for twin flames. So amazing. That was a really great way to end for our best guidance. So what I'm going to do now, I will end with the messages from your person today. I don't usually do that because I really, guys, as much as we love to hear about our counterpart, this is a journey about oneness. And that's why, as at the moment, I do my readings with both masculine and feminine together so that we can be focusing on both the energies within ourselves, right? Regardless of what counterpart we are on the journey. So that's why I like to finish off with the guidance so that we're focusing on the guidance and doing the work that's needed because, we're not just twin flames so that we can come into union with our counterpart in the 3D. We chose this journey so that we can help Earth, right? That's really the big goal here. So I like to finish with the guidance that we're focusing on the guidance and not necessarily on our counterpart on the 3D, right? Because we're not just here to focus on romance in this human experience. We're here to help Earth ascend in their spiritual journey, okay? So but I will do the angel number guidance for the best guidance, and then we'll end with our messages from our person today, okay, you guys? So let's find out the angel number guidance to go along with our guidance with this Magician here. These ones really want me to take them, but I'm feeling more, and we will do that because, it's all about the guidance and how do we move forward, okay? Let me get more, you guys. That's you get what you ask for, am I right? I get like half the deck now. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take the top two. Wow, there's a lot of really cool cards in there, but like I really asked for it. I need to set my boundaries, you guys. That's what that message was. So the best guidance for this Magician card and just getting us through this retrograde energy as of current, okay? Excuse me, guys. Okay, so we have angel number 55, which is talking about releasing doubts, fears, and perceived obstacles. So I already talked about that, okay? So really standing in our truth and our power, not doubting ourselves or the connection or the journey. It's also talking about releasing fear, which Pluto retrograde is here to help us release our fear in regards to our success, right? And angel number 5 is talking about change. So going back to masculines having angel number 555, now we have 55. So there's a lot of change happening in the air, twins. Okay, angel number 55 is also talking about letting go of all that no longer serves you. What? Fear in regards to your success, right? And being ready for big change. We've said that. Love it. We have angel number 6666 to go along with angel number 6 right here in 688. So this is about restoring the balance that you once had in life and a forewarning that you are straying from your path. So once again, that advice of making sure that you're going into that alignment, okay, so that we're not allowing energies to, oh, that's why I was hearing about other energies manipulating us, okay? So a forewarning that you're straying from your path. It's really important right now to be focusing on your spiritual needs, okay? Yes, and if we're not protecting our energy, if we're allowing ourselves to get manipulated and to manipulate ourselves, and if we're not planning accordingly, and if we're not tapping into our talents, then, you know, we are straying from our journey here, our spiritual path, right? I'm guided to go to angel number 1313 next. So this is talking about a new part of your spiritual path, which is why it's so important for us to focus on this right now, our needs, right? And a forewarning that you're straying from your path, okay? So you're on a new part of the path and a new guide is with you. Pretty sure that came through this morning as well. That's really powerful, you guys. So going back to this alignment, and I was saying connecting with nature, being around water, you might be noticing a lot of animal spirit guides with you right now, okay? So pay attention to the things that you're seeing around you, because that could be your guide who's there with you, trying to communicate with you, trying to guide you, okay? Angel number 411 is here, talking about embracing your gifts. Yes, talking about those, you know, the best guidance, ending with the magician, talking about untapped talents, okay? So, you know, tapping into your talents, embracing your gifts, embracing those talents, and know your worthiness of your gifts, okay? So really do embrace the fact of who you are, okay? It's like a post I saw earlier. If I can find it, I'll share it with you guys, talking about embracing the fact that you are your own God, right? We are all God within us, okay? So you know, God being the definition of, you know, having the ability to create. And we create our own life, okay? So embrace that. It was even saying about, you know, allowing your ego in a healthy way. If I can find the post, it said it so much better than me. But just, you know, allowing yourself to just let it get to your head just a teeny tiny bit, okay? Know how powerful you are, but like don't be egoistic about it, but just, you know, allow yourself to know that you are that powerful, that you are allowed to kind of pump yourself up a bit about it, okay? Angel number 33 is also here, guidance of the ascended masters, okay? And your angels and your guides are bringing you love and peace. So once again, going back to a new guide is with you, looking around for those guides, that those new guides that are with you, and they're bringing you a lot of love and a lot of peace, which is, you know, we always welcome it, right? But especially in a time when we're doing things like releasing fear in regards to success, and, you know, going back to the twin flame journey, you know, releasing fear in regards to success and the connection. I think that's something that all twin flames want to experience, is releasing the pressure of, you know, the fears that this twin flame journey can bring up for us. Okay, moving on, we have angel number 411. We have 41 and 411. I really like that. So talking about patience, having faith in the people in your life, and being open to given another opportunity. So I think I spoke about that either today or recently. So going back as, you know, our best guidance for this magician here. So, you know, having patience in ourselves in this time, in this retrograde energy, definitely, as we tap into our talents, as we get into alignment, because we're not perfect. We're not just going to get it right the first time. So be patient with yourself, okay? Don't manipulate yourself into thinking, oh, I failed because you didn't get it right the first try. Just keep trying. Is, you know, have patience with yourself, and compassion. I'm hearing have compassion for yourself. Having faith in the people in your life. I'm really feeling twins, and there is a number 11 here. So you know, twin flame vibe, I'm feeling like this having faith in the people in your life is going back to finding forgiveness in, you know, in everyone involved in the journey, okay? The karmic situations, you know, finding forgiveness within your counterpart as well, within yourself, for everything that's happened in the journey, and being open to giving another opportunity, right? Twin flames. But not just in regards to your counterpart for that, you know, being open to giving another opportunity, poor planning, okay? So it's like what I said about, you know, sometimes throwing in the towel because we don't see the results we expected right away. This, you know, divine feminine's going back to speaking about being adaptable, you know, not being so quick to give up when it doesn't go exactly how you had it planned and not exactly how you would hope to control the situation. I'm hearing that now. So, you know, in regards to the things that you're planning, being open to giving it another opportunity, be adaptable. But it could also be in regards to, I'm hearing for some of you, a situation that you already tried but you didn't succeed as you had hoped. I'm hearing it's not all lost, okay? So being open to giving that another opportunity, if you're really feeling that pull, that soul knowingness that that's what I should have been doing all along, but it didn't work. Why didn't it work? Be open to giving it another try. If you feel it in your soul, no, check in for alignment. If you feel it within, then you know that that's what you need to be doing, okay? Angel number 916 is also here, so your angels are helping you to clear away anxiety and worry, limiting beliefs in regards to your life purpose and monetary issues. So, you know, what a great way to end this advice, because that's what retrograde is here for, okay? The Pluto and the Saturn retrograde combined with Mercury retrograde forcing us to do the work that Mercury and Saturn, or Pluto and Saturn retrograde, are here to make us do. So know that the angels are here to help to assist you to release the fears, the worries, the limiting beliefs, okay? So that we can be successful, okay? So amazing. Now let's just find out, I do feel like more guidance coming through. So is there any other additional messages of guidance that we need to be aware of? I know I put half that deck back when it flew out at me. So just one more final message. So angel number 523. So the angels are working to introduce new blessings and be more open to sharing your riches and your blessings with the underprivileged. Okay, so I've talked about this card a lot. It's not always just about money. It's just about, you know, just, we had a card coming through. Where did it go? Your overflowing self-love positively impacts those around you, okay? So going back to what I was saying about the best advice for Mercury at retrograde, you know, standing in this, let me just open my computer again, see exactly what I wrote. Remaining in the heart space, okay? So yes, your self-love impacts those around you. Remain in the heart space, because, you know, it radiates around those, and it's like you're being generous to those around you when you radiate that self-love, because that's twin flames. That's what we're here to do, is to help the earth ascension, to help raise the frequency through love, through compassion, okay? So I'm really glad that I decided to grab that last guidance. We will end now with messages from your person, you guys. I know you love these. And the stone that I was guided to use today was the peacock ore, and how fitting, okay? So when I'm looking at this stone today, I'm thinking about all the different colors of the chakras, okay? So alignment, right? And I'm also thinking about angels and seeing like angel wings when I look at that stone today. So let's find out. Let's start with divine masculines. What would you like to say to your divine feminines at this time? And guys, I did put a new card in here just before this reading. I felt super, super guided. I don't even remember what it is, honestly, at this moment. So I'm kind of curious to see if it comes through, because yesterday I felt guided to put an angel number in the deck, and it came through in the reading to follow me putting it in the deck. So let's find out, what would the divine masculines like to say to their divine feminines at this time? Okay. Landed on angel number 916. There is still so much I haven't told you. And what I'm feeling from this card right now is that friendship vibe, okay? That when you come together, divine feminine, with your divine masculine, there's so much that he wants to share with you about the things that have gone on in the time that you have been away from each other. And that landed on angel number 916, so talking about clearing away anxiety and worry and limiting beliefs, okay? So that's really beautiful. Now, divine feminines, what would you like to say to your divine masculines? We have a few cards here. So, what we're saying today, Divine Feminines, is I can show you the way to your masculine. So I love that. So this is a card of guidance and support and compassion. So masculines, what your feminine is saying to you with this card is that, you know, they really do want to help to guide you out of any darkness that you might be in. Not, it's like your feminine wants to meet you halfway. You know, there's talk of, you know, in the twin flame journey, we hear about how, you know, it's a journey about healing and oneness, but no one's perfect, right? So, you know, if there's still always going to be healing to do. That's what this human experience is about healing, okay? So just know, masculines, what your feminine is saying to you with this card is that, you know, I understand if you feel like you're not perfect. I don't expect you to be. I can be there for you as your support to help you along the way. That's really beautiful. It's a very, very sympathetic energy. What else we have here is I keep seeing you in my dreams, but can only seem to remember small details when I wake up. So I've been seeing this a lot in the Twin Flame Collective about more twin flames being, you know, recalling more in their dream states. So divine masculines, your feminines are letting you know right now that, you know, if you are trying to meet me in the 5D in the dream state, I am starting to kind of pick up on that a little bit. I just haven't quite put my finger on it yet. Um, and you're the one, it's only you. So, divine feminines, you're saying to your masculines right now that you know that they're the one for you, that there is no one else, okay? So, masculines, your feminine is saying to you that, you know, it doesn't matter anymore what it might look like. You're the only one who I know that I can be fulfilled with, you know, that feeling of that 10 of cups, that pure abundance. Your feminines are saying that I can, you know, move on without you, but you're the only one for me who can make me feel the way that you do. And then the last thing that the feminines are saying to the masculines is I want to help to make your dreams come true. So that's really beautiful. So a lot like this card of how I can show you the way, feminines, you really do want to help, you know, be a guiding light for your divine masculines. You know, I'm feeling this energy of, you can see and feel the pain that they're going through, and it's like, you know that they're so close that it's like you want to help to guide them the rest of the way. You want to be that friend, that support for them, okay? It's almost like they're kind of being resistant, like, and it's like you can feel that a little bit. But masculines, just know that your divine feminines also really want to support you as well. It's not just about you know, coming in and being this knight in shining armor. Your divine feminines also want to see all of your dreams and your wishes come true as well. Like, I'm really feeling this in regards to work. So if some of you are entrepreneurs or you really do want to be providers, I'm feeling that your divine feminine really does want to support you in helping you to set your establishment, I'm hearing, with all of the things that you want to be successful with. So twins, that's what I have for you today for our retrograde check-in. That was probably one of my longer readings. So let me know if you guys like the longer readings. If not, I will keep the next one a little bit shorter for you guys, just so that, you know, the information is clear, and, you know, we can take away from the readings what we need to focus on most, and it's not just an overwhelm of information, okay? Because I really do, you know, my main goal with these readings is to help you guys through your journey and to help you through your healing process, you know, for yourself and for the world, right? So twin flames, that's what I have for now. I will be back with another retrograde check-in, and on, you know, Friday we'll be doing our twin flame update, just the weekly energies, okay? So I'll check in with you then. If you need any additional guidance or support, I'm always here for you. This is the Crow's Nest. I'm your host, Crystaljoy, Wounded Healer. Be well, twin flames.